If you grew up reading comic books in the 1990s, then chances are that you picked up a comic book or two that was drawn by Joe Madureira. Now, he was one of the hottest artists at the time. Joe Mad's pencils were the bridge between the burgeoning adoption of anime in the West and classic comic book art. Madureira's art was incredibly distinct. It was a visual guitar solo of action and style that no one else in the industry could replicate at the time. It was fantastic. It was intense. It was kinetic, high-octane action, all that. And it wasn't long before Madureira struck out on his own and started work on Battle Chasers. Now, that was a fantasy steampunk series of comic books with the publishing schedule of James Cameron's Avatar sequels. Battle Chasers would eventually cease printing after 9 issues, and the prelude. A pity really, because the series, it had potential. A combination of all things arcaney and steamy. You know, it wore its RPG influences proudly on its giant oversized gloves. It was fun, it was brief, it was colourful. But it's far from dead. Now, THQ Nordic has plans for the franchise, and they include a new stab at reviving the property in Battle Chasers Nightwar. It's a game which has brought the franchise back full circle to its roots as a tale of swords and steam. Now, imagine the bastard child of an SNES Final Fantasy game and Darksiders, which is another Joe Mad product of insane art direction, and you'd have Battle Chasers Nightwar. Now, it plays out like a classic JRPG. It favours strategy and making your turns count in the thick of battle. The build that we got our hands on featured 3 familiar faces from the comics: Naive, Gully and her staggeringly massive gloves of power that can bring on Macho Man level elbow drops. There's Garrett the swordsman, the guy that doesn't have a personality, and Calibretto, a towering combination of mechanical magic with a soft heart. It's cute, it's adorable. Now, there'll be 6 characters to use in battle once Battle Chasers kicks off properly, but the 3 on offer did a decent job of leveraging our standard JRPG ideas and techniques. You know, quick attacks, defensive stratagems, and more brutal brouhaha barrages. All well and fine, the kind of gameplay that you'd expect from a mid-budget title. Every attack earns points towards an overcharge meter for over-the-top battle burst attacks, and battles were over as soon as they started. Again, all standard stuff, but with an edge that leans towards making familiar mechanics as uncluttered as possible. So where does Battle Chasers find its identity? You know, by actually dragging these mechanics kicking and screaming into the modern world. There's a certain sense of risk and reward at play here, options which reward players for taking a chance and spending their time on Battle Chasers. There's nothing worse than a game that wastes and insults your time, something that Battle Chasers seems keenly aware of with its setup. Now, battles make use of a mana system that encourages abilities to be used despite their cost. Overcharge attacks are colourful round deciders, and crafting the gear needed to survive a dungeon feels natural, at least in the slice that we were given to play. All that, and it looks absolutely stunning. Powerhouse Animation has managed to give Joe Madureira's art even more life than usual, resulting in one of the finest looking RPGs of the year. If the rest of Battle Chasers Nightwar plays as good as it looks, we could have a serious contender on our hands here for the biggest surprise of the year.